So, it's time for another batch of keys I was given through the service alert kit today. Because, as usual, I end up requesting a bunch of them, and sometimes they come in batches, like this set did. We're not going to go to all of them today. We're just going to do 2 so I can give them proper amounts of time. Yeah, that should end up working out pretty well. If we do suddenly run out of things to do, which I find highly unlikely, I do have more backed up, ready to go. But we should be able to split these 2 just fine and have it work out perfectly well. As per usual, the command is up, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. So, if you end up wanting to know about that, the information is there for you. I'm just making one quick adjustment because I knew I was forgetting something today. Because there's always something I'm forgetting when it comes to all of this lately. There we go. Because I did not turn on the timed version like I had intended to. There we go. Though more than likely this one will end up being about an hour, because this is just a demo. Just for everybody's context on what we're getting into here. And now that I've got all my ducks in a row, we'll go a little bit more into what's going on specifically with this game. This is Starfire: The Eternal Cycle. The easiest explanation for this is it's very much a beat 'em up, though it's a little odd in how it feels. We'll explain more about that as we actually move along. Because you should be able to tell what I mean with that immediately. But before that, decent settings menu. One odd thing, you'll notice that the sound effect volume is down here at 10%. That's as low as I could get it, and I still actually had to lower it more in Windows. So they may have their sound effects boosted a little too much. Something they may want to consider. Decent control settings. Just a language setting and a beginner's guide down here, nothing too crazy. I do think it could do with some more settings, but it's not that big a deal for this game. And let's just get this show on the road. 2149 AD, year 7 of the apocalypse. Lunar fissures spew swarms that devoured 97% of the Earth's surface, while the hive neural network pulses beneath the ruins like a grotesque heart. Humanity's last holdout, the Ark Dawn station, flickers behind energy shields at 3% power, Earth's final heartbeat. The 5 core or hive zones are siphoning planetary energy to lunar forges. Your gauntlet crackles with leaking charge. Humanity's 127th and last counterattack begins. Humanity shall tear through the hive's genetic lies with thunder. And there you go. Just straight into it. Now take a look at how much it takes to clear out even basic enemies with your basic attack. That's kind of what I'm talking about with it feeling a little odd. Now that does start to get sorted out, it just seems like you have a really rough start. And the main mechanic of this game is these cores you pick up as you go, which will have a variety of basic statistical effects, and if you get more than one of the same element, they'll also have synergies that will activate, as you can see over there with Thunder Affinity, for example. Heavy attack summons 6 Thunder Orbs for 6 seconds, dealing 300% weapon damage, AoE every 1.5 seconds, and it'll keep on going from there. So that's an important part of how this works. Obviously, you have your heavy attacks as well. You can dash around. They call it sprinting, but I think that may just be, like, slightly odd translation. I'm not sure entirely there. And as usual for a roguelite of this sort, you have your choices as to your paths. We're not going to bother with a gold plunder section, because we need power. And we will much more immediately get power from more cores. So we'll go grab some cores. Now you'll notice your heavy attacks do a lot more work towards clearing enemies out. And you do at least have 2 of them. And you have your usual enemy attack indicators and such, like, hey, big attack going there. You might not want to be there when it lands. And typical hit stunning to keep things under control and all of that good stuff. And you can move around quite well, so you will want to make very heavy use of that dash. We'll get to that enhancement here in a second once I've cleared the room. Because you can enhance it at any time, but I personally think it's safer to do that when you've cleared the room. There's also these memory chips, which I'm guessing are just lore pieces. Fallout log fragment. Newborn cries disrupt insectoid compound eyes. We built the nursery next to the reactor using radiation static to mask life signals. Interesting. That almost sounded like they were doing a rhyme at first. Yeah, your enhancements are usually things like this, where you can actually just straight up improve your battle results, which give you more money. You can just make your weapons better, or get in more rage, which I believe rage is what allows us to do our heavy attacks, so that is a good thing to have. But in my particular case, I'm going to grab the weapon damage because that enhances both of our attacks. We also have another enhancement ready to go because you get a fair bit early on. Even more weapon damage. There we go. And our Insectoid Core, no Thunder Core, but that's fine. We'll take the max HP increase. The fixed damage one is nice, but some health is kind of handy. And you'll understand why I'm worrying about that when we get a little further along. Oh, they did adjust the text on that one. I was having trouble with the Enraged Strike thing because the text was actually broken when I tested the demo the other day. It had the right bumper all the way to the left of the text box, which was kind of interesting. So it was just telling me to press Y, but nothing was happening, so I was very confused. So the Enraged Strike must be what the rage is for, then. And there's treasure hunting, which gets us equipment. Let's take a look at that just so you guys get an idea of what equipment means for us immediately. Oh yeah, there's also these exploding enemies. They're very annoying, because you don't get a lot of warning about them exploding. Yeah, the knockback in this game is fairly satisfying when you can make it happen. It's usually on the right bumper move, at least at the moment. But they have to survive it for the knockback to happen. You can also use the right bumper move to dodge attacks, like you just saw me do there. Now, the common chest has Rage Gauntlets, a Crit Cannon, and a Fortune Hammer. Now, as far as I'm aware, this equipment just sits in your inventory and gives you benefits. You don't actually have to attach it in the inlay section like you do the cores. When acquiring gold, increased weapon damage stacks up to 30 times, lasts until battle ends. That is a good one. Trigger Incineration every 30 crit hit, doubling critical damage for 6 seconds. We don't really have crit hits, so that's probably not it. Every time rage attack is cast, weapon damage increases 30%, stacks up to 10 times. That is pretty good, but I don't know if I'm going to be reliably using my rage attack, so I think it's the Fortune Hammer for us. Extra attack speed, thunderbolt damage, or cooldown reduction. I'm going to take the attack speed, is keeping control of the battlefield. Now, if you take a look, see, there's the Fortune Hammer just sitting there, and as you can see, we can't do anything with it. So I'm presuming that it just takes effect immediately. I did not find any way to, like, move them up here or anything, and this is just for cores anyway. And there's not, like, a separate equipment menu, because the only other menu is showing your gauntlet itself and all of the modifiers you've had for it. Everything that with the yellow on it, I do believe is... No, it's just alternating with the yellow. The green numbers are things that have been modified. So, like, our base weapon damage is up. Our Thunder Flare damage, I think, was also modified by the same value. Thunder Flare might be our rage attack, though, so it could be either. But since it's all 3 damage numbers that are increased, it's hard to guarantee one way or the other which one that means yet. We'll figure that out as we go along further. There are, of course, shops, that's why you get gold. Body enhancement is good because that will give us guaranteed max hit points. Or I could go for another core. I think I'm gonna go for another core, because those can also give me max health and get me a synergy unlocked. Oh, I need gauge 3, right. But as you can see, now that I've got a little bit of weapon power, my basic attacks are no longer not useful. They're not incredible, but they at least can kill instead of it feeling like it takes a while to clear things. I really want that gold core, but the thunder synergy. Nah, we're taking the gold core anyway. There's some crit rate, but I'm gonna take the rage recovery just so we can actually build the meter up enough so we can actually see the rage attack. And so I can get that tutorial message off my screen. Oh yeah, you can hold the button for the attacks as well. I just like to mash because it's satisfying to my brain. There we go, there's the rage attack. Wow, that just deleted the elite. You know what? That's worth it being 3 meters for that. I now understand why that costs so much. Usually those elites take a little bit to get rid of. Ooh, I could get at the gold core synergy, actually. That's a really good core with the 30% extra weapon damage. And exactly as I said, we did get max HP out of it as well. So let's see, Wealth Affinity. Dash attacks has 50% chance to deal additional falling gold damage, inflicting 60% of total gold acquired as damage. Neat. I do dash a lot, so that's actually helpful. We could upgrade our Fortune Hammer by getting another copy of it. We could get Sturdy Gloves, which have a chance to reset our heavy attack cooldown when we get hit. Or every time we dodge, we increase our weapon damage. Well, just like I was saying about me dodging a lot, that seems like a good idea. More Thunderbolt rate or Thunder Flare chance? Now let's just boost that rage. Based on how much damage that rage move did, I think we want our rage to be going up fast. We will go and grab a body enhance this time though, because I think they do also heal you a bit. Don't quote me on that, because I haven't played this game enough to know that. And for certain, I'm just assuming things at the moment. Yeah, now that our basic attacks do enough damage to be relevant, we can actually save our heavy attacks for clearing problems off of us, instead of having them be our only method of clearing. Thunderbolt damage would be nice, but weapon damage I'm pretty sure is going to just increase everything as far as that goes. Okay, no, it doesn't give you any health when you increase your max. Well, that's a shame. That is decidedly unfortunate for me. But we do have a chance to go to a shop. Take note of the tracker up at the top, by the way. That tells you when you'll reach the actual boss of the section. So you're going to want to play around that where possible, as you might imagine. So we'll go ahead and hit the shop since we got 200. You would probably want to have more money before going to a shop, but this way you guys get to see it. And this is why I say you might want to have more money, because a lot of the stuff in here is pretty expensive. Useful stuff, though. When HP is below half, weapon damage increases by 50% and crit rate by 5%. When the character doesn't instantly lose health when taking damage, but instead health drains. Current health drain stops when clearing all monsters in the room. This would be incredibly useful if I could afford it. Because with how fast we clear, we could basically just roll through attacks and just crush our way forward as a method of solving problems. I think I did one other thing. No, I didn't. And why didn't that... Huh. Well, I'm not gonna worry about that. It's too late to worry about that right now. Just noticing that my own Discord did not prompt a notification, so I think StreamCord broke again. Yeah, we're not buying any of those right now. This guy sells cores, which is pretty nice, but you'll notice that's basically all of our money as well. And then if you come up here to this machine, you can actually combine cores that are the same tier to make a better one. And you can also break cores down. Which I did not do this yet, so I don't entirely know how it works, but it looks like you can upgrade cores using this. Sort of, anyway, because you break them down into elemental essence, and then you use that essence to refine or re-roll the cores you have left. The fact that there isn't a thunder core in here does make me kind of sad. Yeah, neither a thunder nor a fire core. So we can't actually trigger either of the synergies we have. And if I re-roll this, I'm not going to have enough money to buy anything. Oh, so there's perfect dodges as well. I didn't even realize that was a concept. I think, though, I'll take the water core just because those stats on it are really good. Now, it's worth noting, we only have 2 more slots. Until we unlock those other 4 slots, I don't know how yet. But we do have quite a bit of weapon damage now. So, we are very potent, just a bit of a mess. Let's go ahead and try to grab a core that'll match with any of the ones I have. You'll notice they are getting tougher as we go as well. Obviously, we're currently keeping pace with their power increase. So it's not seeming like it's too big a problem, but it could easily become a problem if I'm not careful. And as long as I dash around a bit, I'll be able to boost my power enough to accommodate as well. 28 fixed damage from the wood core. Or some crit rate, crit hit. Heavy attack damage is also not bad. Thankfully, you can look at what you've got on you as well. Yeah, I did take the water one, so I'd have 3 individual insect cores and none of them would match. And I don't really need a better gold one right now. Both my gold cores are actually really good. So I could go for more wealth synergy. Like, we would need to get 4 of them, but we could try that. No, I think the fixed damage is worth it. Is fixed damage, I believe, just flat increases your weapon damage? No. I'm not actually 100% sure what fixed damage does. I think it just makes you do 28 more in general. But I'm not 100% sure about that. I just know when I was building fixed damage when I was testing this, my light attacks were starting to do a lot more. So that's why I kind of just connected those dots. Let's use their minions here to build rage, and then see if we can delete this guy like we did the Elite 4. Or, you know, it won't take the double input there, and it just did a heavy instead, but it's fine. We'll just rebuild the meter. Go ahead and enhance while we got some space over here. I thought for a second the one that was swinging the bat hit me early, and I'm like, but why though? How? Yeah, this guy's whole bit is he drops bombs around the field and rolls around. There we go. Okay, yeah, that attack is just really strong. I wanted to know whether it would just obliterate him too. Ooh. These are all pretty good. 113 extra fixed damage and some crit rate is incredibly tempting. I don't actually care for the water synergy too much, but I guess I should grab that because it's very good. And I'll be able to show y'all why I'm not the biggest fan of the water synergy. Hormone Goose. Whenever you heal, health with HP recovery area. Additionally, restore 5% of current fixed damage. Interesting. So maybe fixed damage doesn't work the way I think it does. Oh. No, I was right. Fixed damage. Additional damage dealt when attacking. Okay. And then, of course, every 6 light attack temporarily boosts weapon damage. No, that's perfect for me right there. We'll go ahead and get rid of the wood core that we just got. Because this one just does more than double that. That's actually... yeah, give or take 4 times the amount we just had from that wood core. Because it goes from 28 to 113. So that's pretty good. Now, the water synergy does this. Triggered after moving continuously for 1 second, ride the waves. Increases movement speed by 30% with an additional 15% per second during the effect. Weapon damage stacks up to 10 times, lasting 20 seconds. Now, the thing I don't like about it is you have this constant water effect going on under you. And I just don't like it visually. Like, it's distracting to me. Like, I'm sure there's people out there that love it. Probably. I'm just not one of them. But it's hard to argue with all this extra fixed damage we have, just devastating everything before us. Common chest has Hormone Duck instead of Goose. Gain fixed damage equal to 10% of max HP. Okay, that's pretty good, because that'll be 160. Because we have 1,600 health right now. Dash boots, sprint, boost dodge chance by 10% for 5 seconds. Reset 1 sprint charge on successful dodge. So if you had a decent amount of dodge, you could actually loop that. So that's pretty good. The Chrono Hammer, 30% chance to trigger perfect dash effect whenever dodge activates. These two would go perfectly together. But we're taking the Hormone Duck, because we now have 273 fixed damage. And we are just going to keep hitting harder and harder. Based on the fact that we keep not being able to afford things, we'll go ahead and take a battle reward upgrade. And now, the actual boss challenge. Right, the thing we deleted a minute or two ago was the elite version of this guy. You'll notice he has 10 health bars. I'm not kidding about that, by the way. But this guy functions very similarly to that elite we were dealing with, which is why I got confused thinking the last thing was the boss. But this one fires a lot more explosives around. Let's see how well this does on you. 7 health bars worth of damage. But you'll notice he's kind of returning the favor pretty hard here. So I do have to be kind of careful, especially with all the mines he's placing everywhere. Let's set some of those off so we don't have as much danger just laying around everywhere. Down to his last health bar. And gone. So those enraged attacks are still really strong. If it had killed the boss immediately, I was gonna say I may make special mention of that to them, like, hey, you might want to nerf those a little. And even then, with taking off more than half of a boss's health, that may be a little much. This Blazing Banner seems really good. Crit hit damage, fireball damage, perfect dash duration, thunderbolt damage. It's more of the thing at the bottom here, though. Each insectoid core fire socket increases 5% fireball trigger chance and 60% fireball damage. As opposed to the other one over here with a 10% chance to double the next fireball quantity upon triggering fireball. Both of them are really good. And then there's the wood core with the exclusive entry. Heavy attack now dashes forward to attack, dealing 3 times heavy attack damage, plus an additional 300% pierce damage. Which is really good as well. Like, all of these are very good. But since our light attacks are kind of becoming our bread and butter move here, having something that increases fireball trigger chance is very good. His fireball triggers off of your basic attack. Let's see. Soul Brand. Proof of Strength. Only dropped by defeating boss level monsters. Unlocks new weapons. Yes, please. That sounds like meta currency. 20% health heal. And one really good piece of equipment. The Hormone Pill. For every 100 max HP, increase weapon damage by 6%. So that's gonna kick 16 times. Because we have 1,600 health. Tortoise Shell. Any single instance of damage you take cannot exceed 60% of your current max HP, so that's pretty good. And then the Roar Cloak. Each rage attack has a 20% chance to permanently increase its damage by 3%. We're taking the Hormone Pill. Is damage. We now have 397 base weapon damage. And 341% weapon damage. Not bad, not bad at all. I think we dropped this Thunder Core in favor of having the Blazing Banner. Or for the synergy. It is going to be a shame losing 19% of our weapon damage, but with the other effect we have, it's fine. And now we have the fire synergy as well, which I'll explain in a second. Yeah, we only lost like 17 damage. That's fine. So, Fire Affinity. Light attack has a 30% chance to fire 3 fireball upon hitting an enemy, dealing 300% weapon damage. So, take into account the fact that it starts at 30%, but we get 5% additional per fire core we have. So, it's currently 40% instead of 30. And now we just hop in this car and leave. We're going off to the next part. Nyum. Now, I did not go through this area. I stopped at this point when I tested this, so as not to go too far in. Definitely worth noting that enemies are more aggressive in here. So I should go back to using my heavies a bit more. For a little while, at least. Insectoid Core. This is just flat out better than the one we're currently wearing, I think. So we'll take that. Memory chip, chip 15. Arc blueprint. On the back of the golden axe design, Father wrote, Erica grabbed an axe when she was a baby. Perhaps this was fate. She got babies running around with axes. Legendary weapon damage upgrade. Okay. Yeah, this one's a 5% max HP. This one's 6% and extra crit rate. There we go. And we have 3 synergies running right now. HP recovery is what we want. If we survive this room. Oh, wait, no. It just goes straight to recovery. Sweet. So we're in pretty good shape now. We'll go for treasure hunting, because free gear is always good. The nature synergy is also pretty good, in my opinion. We'll see if we get a hold of one of them or not. We'll take the Thunder Flare damage this time, because it's a legendary upgrade. Never pass up a legendary. Hormone Bud. 20% chance to double the healing when restoring health. That's pretty good. Rage Ring. Gains 1 stack for rage attack every 10 attack hits. Each stack increases rage attack's bonus damage by 30% when cast. Or the Roar Cloak we had looked at before. Let's go ahead and take the Hormone Bud. We're ending up with like a whole hormone set here, and I don't know what to do with that information. We do have a decent bit of money. I don't know if the prices in the shop get more expensive or not, so let's find out. Probably worth finding out. They do not. Ooh, rebirth. So you just come back to life once. That does seem really good with the Karma Doll there. We've seen the Sturdy Glove and the Tortoise Shell before. What cores do you got for me before I make that purchase? These are kind of meh, so I think we will take that rebirth. I am rebirth. And it's insectoid cores of the same tier, so... I don't have any other level 1 cores, though. That's the problem. I actually need to find another lower core, because I don't want to give up 2 of my synergies to upgrade a core. I thought all 3 of those were level 1. I can't afford one of these level 1s, though, to make that happen. Except I don't have the gold to do the craft cost anymore. I know, apparently I do. Even though it says I have 0 gold up there. We didn't get that good a replacement core, though. I know. Wait. Oh! The icon's on the right side. The amount attached to the icon's on the left. Okay. I had that backwards. That's on me. I could put in one of my level 2s. Since I'm not attached to my water synergy, I could risk it. Let's gamble, why not? Let's go gambling. And we get a much better water core. Worked out. Worked out. So we keep our water synergy, gain more fixed damage and more weapon damage. Can't stop winning. Now let's go beat up an elite. Big punch. Okay, he survived that admirably. So I guess it's not as big a problem as I thought it was then. Which is good. Still wasn't that big a threat, but he at least survived the rage punch. Let's go ahead and get us some more battle results before the fight's over, so we can actually profit from it. Ooh, level 3 cores. These are all pretty good, but I'm taking that level 3 gold core. We got that hormone goose again. Or I could push my hormone duck to 20% instead of 10%. Yeah. 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 So we're up to 426% weapon damage before I even put the 30% boost in. So we're up to 484 weapon damage. I really want more core space now. But I'm betting that's probably going to be a meta progression upgrade if I were to hazard a guess. That would at least make the most sense. Yeah, things are not holding up to our punches anymore. More weapon damage. And we get trash. Sad. I'm at least gonna grab the level 2 cores in situations like that, though, so we can hopefully fish for better level 3s. That just makes the most sense to me. We don't have enough money for the shop, and I think I'm happy with our max HP right now, because we're not gonna be able to fill our max HP right now without finding a healing area. Or getting something that will heal me. Which, so far, I have not seen very many ways to heal other than those healing rooms. But I would assume there's probably a way somewhere, right? But notice how just those fireballs are just chewing through the field for us. Increasing our battle results. Bloodstained Vest. For every 1% HP lost, increase weapon damage by 2%. That's pretty good. Improve our Shadow Strike or the Sturdy Rod. Whenever damage taken converts 5% of the damage taken into an equal amount of gold when used. Sure. Free gold. We'll keep on treasure hunting. Hopefully we'll get another HP restore before we get to the boss. Otherwise, that might be where this attempt ends. And hopefully one proof of defeating a boss will be enough to unlock a weapon so we can demonstrate more of that. Assuming that's implemented in the demo, which it might not be. Hormone caps, max HP is increased by 200, instantly restore 10 HP when defeating enemies. Yup, give. Go beat up an elite. We have our rage fully charged already, so may as well start the party with that. Okay, immediately broke all of their armor off. Oh, they do have healers though, so let's get rid of that. Enhance with more weapon damage. Yeah, I'm purposely hunting all the other enemies down to get more health. And goodbye. Nice and easy. Level 3 fire, level 3 water, level 3 earth. 2 different hits of 28 weapon damage. Ooh. Yeah. Let's see, I could upgrade my hormone pill, get a crit dagger, or fortune gold. Permanently gain 10 fixed damage for every 100 gold obtained. Or 1 stack of frenzy per 5 crit hits. We still don't have crit hit really guaranteed, so we'll take the fortune gold. We are making a lot of money now, so the increased fixed damage from that should be pretty good for us. I don't actually want this insect core like I thought I did, though. Water core is just not actually better, I don't think. And we'll go ahead and hit up a shop before the boss fight. At least we have a healing method. The shop's not that great. How about this one? We could upgrade our hormone pill or our hormone duck. It's probably gonna be the hormone duck, considering... So I could upgrade both. And then we still have money left over to upgrade a core, so that's perfect. But I'd have to... Yeah, I'll trade my blue fire for it, even though that might be a horrible idea. See if I get lucky. Please give me a fire core. Hey! Not necessarily a great one, but, you know, it's something. Heavy attack and rage attack damage is actually going to be good for us. I was just, as usual, hoping for better. But sometimes you get a little greedy by hoping for better. I have no rage built up either, so this boss might be bad. I also haven't fought it, so I have no idea what its pattern's gonna look like. Okay, so it's got friends. Oh, it also has big slamming tentacles. Yikes. Ow. Oh, that comes out fast. Wow, this one's way harder than the last boss was. Just trying to get rid of one of these things. There we go. Yep, I couldn't keep up with all that, but we have our rebirth still, so we're not out of this yet. Okay, now it's just me and him for the moment. So I can actually focus on what it's doing. Which thankfully it kind of sits there a bunch, it seems, so... Okay, I did manage to dodge that in time. Very good. Get my meter up. Come on, come on. Die. Oh wow, that only took 2 health meters off of him that time. Yikes. So remember when I just said that he's way stronger? Yeah, turns out he is in fact way stronger. I do like the time stop you get on these perfect dodges. That's fun. Gives me a lot of room to work him over some more. And we won that. We had to burn our revive, but we got through it. we get a bunch of goodies. Let's see, Insectoid Core, Earth Gauntlet, or Storm Call. Each Earth Core embedded increases weapon damage by 60% is pretty good. Every 3 Thunder Orb triggered, unleash a Thunderstorm that deals 900% Thunder Orb damage per hit. We don't have Thunder right now, unfortunately. Aside from whatever's native to our Gauntlet. And then exclusive entry, every 1% increase in attack speed boosts Thunder Flare damage by 10% and Thunderbolt damage by 10% stacks permanently. That's also a lot of good experience boost. These are all fantastic, but they're not suited to what we're doing here. But I'm gonna take the weapon damage one, because weapon damage is our whole shtick. Healed a bit. Memory chip, chip 24. Winona's secret letter. The true purpose of Project Arctic Wolf, to cultivate a bridge capable of communicating with the insectoids. However, test subject number 47, Erica, refused to speak. She chose to respond with her axe instead. You know, I can relate to that. Axes speak louder than words. Get our second soul brand and our miracle chest, which gives us a lot of good stuff. Tier 3 dash boots, Tier 2 rage ring, or Tier 2 hormone goose. Which we still don't have the hormone goose, so it's tempting. Because again, we're built up for a lot of fixed damage, so healing more based on fixed damage would be good for us. If we ever get a healing spot again. Oh, we're just flying along on that. Mission complete. Okay, so it's just 2 areas at the moment per run. Or at least the first run was 2 areas. Whether we get more from here, I don't know yet. We only got a C rating though, so that wasn't the best. The homepage it's referring to, by the way, is your title screen. Not really sure why it's called a homepage. Let's see. Ah, okay, so we spend the like prismatic looking crystals here to get more slots. Oh, I can only afford 1 though. Sad. Guarantee additional legendary insectoid core drop in initial stage is pretty cool. More max health's always good. And auto healing in each new area is very good. Take that. Let's not spend all of that yet in case there's money to be spent elsewhere. And we have the Lightning Fist. Quake Hammer is not available in demo. Oh, we need 5 for the Flamethrower, which is the only other thing that's available in demo, huh? That's not great. Considering the run only gives you 2, I do feel like making it 4 would have been better, just so people get it in 2 runs instead of, like, 2.5. Because that feels a little weird. But again, it'll probably feel better in a non-demo scenario anyway, because I assume a non-demo run would be longer. So that might even be like 1 run's worth with 5. And I do like that they at least show you that these exist. So there's actually already a decent amount of weapons. You've got the Lightning Fist you start with, the Flamethrower we can buy now, the Gold Axe, the Cyclone Cannon, Wooden Vine Staff, Shadow Blade, the Frostbow, and then the Quake Hammer we were looking at. So something for every element, it looks like. And a decent amount of variety of what they do as well. So, should be pretty good in that regard as things go forward. I'm just a little sad that I couldn't actually get anything new. Ooh, new difficulty unlocked. And there are other areas at least. Yeah, because we started in the Fallout Shelter. Okay, so yeah, as you raise the difficulty, the run gets longer. Okay. That's a bit better. I do really question that a little bit. Because as you get stronger during the run, it gets easier. So I don't know if making the runs shorter is actually necessarily making them easier. But I do appreciate that the difficulty is just rewarding at the moment. Like, you get a new area, you get higher epic drop rates, and nothing bad is listed, but I would be willing to bet that they will be increasing the difficulty as well by, like, making the enemies tougher, hitting harder, etc. Let's grab the guaranteed extra legendary, and we'll grab some max health. And we'll dip in on that next difficulty up, so we get an idea of how that looks. They don't seem that much tougher. Yeah, because our stats have been reset. Oh wow, the legendary dropped immediately. Okay. I was expecting that to be like, the initial stage being this first section, not the first room. Okay, I can live with that. Because this gives us a very high initial power boost. Thunder Orb deals an overload explosion of 900% Thunder Orb damage to nearby enemies upon disappearance. Let's see if we can fish for some Thunder or stuff. Both so y'all get to see more affinities in action. Oh yeah, there we go. Thunder affinity immediately. Which heavy attack summons six Thunder Orbs for 6 seconds, dealing 300% weapon damage, as we discussed before. But we didn't actually get a second Thunder piece to make that happen before. And with the legendary thing that's going to make our Thunder Orbs better, this is probably going to be really strong. Okay, the Thunder Orbs stay with me. I thought they were just going to, like, go off immediately. This is actually going to be disgustingly good. Look at how we're just sweeping rooms already. I may actually try to fish for, like, all Thunder and just go straight up to 6 Thunder affinity. Which it seems to be playing ball with that idea right now. Raise our weapon damage as usual. 60 extra battle results, okay. Make money hand over fist. With an emphasis on fist. This is the way we punch everything, punch everything, punch everything. This is the way we punch everything until it's all pudding. There we go. Ooh, Ultra CD. You know, that being only a 4% cooldown reduction makes me kind of sad, if I'm honest. We'll go ahead and get the Thunderbolt damage instead. I think Thunderbolts are heavy attack? Ew. Guess I'll take the fire one. We don't have enough money for the shop yet, so let's go get more cores. Don't forget to keep the orbs up. The orbs are half my damage right now. There we go. You know, just keep giving me more money. This is fine. We'll take the Earth Core because we didn't do the Earth Synergy last time. And there'll be enough room for 6 Lightning Cores and then just have that Earth Core hanging out. And it is giving good amounts of extra damage. Earth Affinity, generate 1 Absolute Shield at the start of each battle, which can fully negate 1 instance of damage. When Absolute Shield shatters, increase weapon damage by 60%. That's actually really good, and the 4-piece version is even better. When taking damage, there's a 50% chance to generate a shield. While shield's active, it deals damage equal to 600% of the character's max HP every 3 seconds. And then when it shatters, trigger 6 rolling stones, dealing 600% weapon damage per second, last 6 seconds. Earth Affinity seems really good. Like, I would not have thought that it would have been nearly that useful. Because Earth is usually one of the more bland elements. It's usually about defense and just, like, throwing rocks at things occasionally, for the most part. This one, it does that, but at least it does that in a way that actually seems like it'll be relatively useful in an offensive application instead of purely defensive. Memory chip 12, Mutant Diary. I saw crystalline growths sprouting from my fingernails. A nurse whispered to me, the hive is branding you, just like cattle. Yikes. More Thunder Flare chance, sure. There's another Thunder Core. And we get Sturdy Rod, Hormone Bud, or Hormone Pill. Go ahead and take the Sturdy Rod because gold gain is very nice. And there's our 4th Thunder. So now we have the double Thunder Orb damage chance. I really want that 6-piece one. Thunder Orb auto attacks nearby enemies with each Thunder Orb trigger, increasing heavy attack damage by 5%. So it just loops into our heavy attack bonus we have, which will just make this monstrous. I really should look into some cooldown reduction probably, though. Because 4 seconds between heavy attacks isn't bad, but it could be so much better. Get us some rage recovery as well, though, because rage attacks are good. I don't want any of these. They're all level 2, though, so I guess I'll just grab one and it doesn't matter. This gets us fire synergy, which we had already, but can't hurt to have it, I guess. We have plenty of money to buy stuff from the shop, so we'll hit that up right now. See if I get anything cool. I mean, it's not that cool, but it is another Thunder Core, so give. Refresh? Take the wooden one, I guess. Let's go ahead and pull one of our... Yeah. Go ahead and pull the Thunder Core, because we might get a better one as a result of this. Or we'll get a fire one and I'll be sad. But it's fine. We're actually going to pull these fire ones, see if I can turn them into a better core entirely. It stayed fire, but that's a lot of experience bonuses, so I'm not that upset. That's not really what I wanted, and now we lost our extra Thunder synergy, but we can get it back. Okay, and it looks like you only get 3 rerolls in a shop, which that's fine. And now we can't afford anything here, but that's okay. We get our level 4 synergy back, and we do have a decent experience bonus. 20%'s not bad. Wasn't the goal, but we'll take it. I had earmarked this for an hour, but with the way this run's going to more than likely go, we'll probably end up going over that mark, and that's fine. I didn't have any hard-locked plans, just that was my estimate for a demo. Because, you know, demos usually limit you a decent bit. This is at least a fairly free U-form demo. I don't know how many difficulties you can go up before the demo will stop me. Or whether it'll tell me I can't even go to that 3rd area because demo. We'll find out. Sure. That's 5. We just need one more, and then we'll have maxed out Thunder Affinity. Alternatively, I could grab level 2 Earth and just keep it at level 4 for Thunder. But I want to see what those auto attacks look like. Even though I keep forgetting to actually use my heavy attacks because I'm so used to the light attack build we had in the last run. Thunderbolt Raid, I guess. And Chrono Hammer, Hormone Duck, and Dash Boots. Alright, Hormone Duck again. Does look like those equipment items may only have so many options, which isn't great. Like, it could definitely do with more options there, but again, it's a demo. I'm sure they'll add more equipment when the game actually comes out. Which, if you're at all interested in giving the demo a try for yourself, it is available on the store page, which you can get through !Lurkit. And I will also be popping it up before we swap games. And here in a few minutes, the automated system should also be popping it up if you do not want to take the time to type it out. Or if you're on mobile or such and commands get weird for you, which I've seen happen. Okay, it looks like the bosses are static, which I hope they add more bosses as well. Like, it's not really a big deal, but it's one of those things where boss variety helps keep things like this alive better, in my opinion. But static bosses does help people, like, learn patterns and such instead of having to learn multiple bosses. And maybe he's the same model but different pattern, because he's just firing immediately exploding missiles instead of mines. He had 2 health bars left. Why did he die? Huh. Well, best not to worry about it, I guess. Crit cannon, rusty bow, sturdy gloves. Yeah, sturdy gloves, actually, since we're doing heavy attack build. This way we can keep resetting our cooldown. Well, there's our Earth option. So I guess maybe we will go 4 and 2, because Earth Gauntlet 4 is a little hard to argue with, especially when it gives that much extra damage. Yeah, that's the one. So, goodbye fire, hello Earth. The experience bonus is a little sad to lose. So actually, let's get rid of the pierce damage and keep the fire. Because we're going to be sticking to level 4 Thunder, it looks like. So that'll work. And now we have that shield every time we enter a battle. And bear in mind, we're still on the easy difficulty of this game. So I'm sure it only starts getting properly difficult once you get out of, essentially, tutorial difficulty. That's not to say that it's not dangerous, because we've definitely died at least once already, as we saw. And we came real close to dying completely. So I'm just saying, on the scale of what this looks like it'll be, this is still the low end of the pool. It probably gets very, very dangerous on the higher end. Pretty happy with the cores we have, so let's keep grabbing equipment. And I don't know if y'all are catching the numbers that are popping up, but boy oh boy are there some numbers happening. So if you're into numbers all over the screen, this game will also hit it just fine as far as that goes. There we go. What's in the box? Crit fire ring, dash boots, or crit cannon? I'm gonna go ahead and take the crit fire ring in the hopes that we actually do get to see that happen a little bit, even though our crit rate is not great. Just trying to force some variety, you know? Let's go ahead and take the body enhancer, because like I said, our cores are pretty good at the moment. We could do better by, like, going out of our way to combine more cores. But I do think a bit of health will do us some good. But so far, this is definitely a solid entry in the genre. Just limited a bit by it being a demo. I do see great potential here, though. The biggest worry I have for this is that the weapons won't provide enough variety. Like, the weapons have to play fairly decently differently, I would say, for that to fully kick. Memory chip 22, Desert Stell. A broken tablet in the Oasis reads, when the 127th adapter raises her weapon, the Sand Queen's eggs shall become stars, the seeds of the Oasis's rebirth. Well, we're the 127th, so guess that means we're some variety of Child of Prophecy or something along those lines. We also have so much money, I just realized, so let's go spend it. Probably should spend it. Just grab all the Earth and Thunder cores I can. There we go. Spent all the money. Now, does it guarantee... Okay, yeah, it seems like it gives you better odds of getting the element you want if you put in more of that element. So, if I put these two thunder on this earth, it should be one of the two. Alright. So, if I pull this level 1 thunder, it might not go well for me. But I could try swapping this earth. No, we'll risk it. This might end up throwing my whole setup for a loop a little bit here. Okay, no, it does have a chance of giving you something completely different, because we just got something completely different there. Pretty good earth, okay. Is either of these better than the one I have? Not really. So I think we roll these three together and try to get something good out of that. Or I give up the experience bonus in the hopes that it randomly gives me a thunder. Or to fix the fact that I threw my thunder setup away. Like, we do still have level 2, we just don't have level... I mean, we still have level 1, rather. We don't have level 2 anymore. I do think it's worth the gamble. Yeah, we'll just jam these cores together and cross our fingers. And it gave me a green one. But it is a legendary green one. After triggering Thunderbolt, 30% chance to deal 900% Thunderbolt damage to surrounding enemies centered on Thunderbolt. That is good. Like, I do think that's worth it. It just doesn't have any synergy benefit at all for us. And the Vine's damage is useless to us. What Vine's damage is if you look over here at Nature Affinity, it summons 3 Vines at the start of battle, dealing 300% weapon damage per attack. Oh, and the Vines do have a chance to restore HP, which I forgot about. So that would be very useful to have. So I could split between Thunder, Earth, and Nature if I really wanted to change plans here. Which we have plenty of room to change plans. Come here, big boy. Get tenderized. Weapon damage. I do think our direct immediate damage is lower this time. Obviously, we also didn't get as lucky with some of what we got, which is definitely an impact on that. Ooh, Miracle Core. Level up has a 10% chance to grant an additional draw of an Insectoid Core. Ooh. Or a 45% chance of heavy attack cooldown. Nah, we'll take the Miracle whole thing because that sounds like fun. We definitely don't need Fortune Plunder considering the amount of battle result bonuses we have giving us more money. Also noticing the bot is not doing its job, so I'm gonna have to take a look at that in a second. Probably once we clear this room. Sure, more battle reward. Why not? Passive income better than active income. I'm starting to get used to the timings here as well. Desert Traveler's Diary. Found half a pocket watch in a sandworm nest. The hand stopped at September 5th, 2147, the day the oasis was swallowed. My child had just turned 100 days old. Huh. Roar Cloak, Crit Fire Ring, or Fortune Gold. Fortune Gold would be very good for us. So we're obviously taking that again. Because we generate lots of gold, so it would be very handy. We don't actually have enough gold for this shop this time. Because we haven't had that much time since the last one to build up a bunch more money. Do note that every enemy is also giving us gold. I wonder if they'll implement additional characters as well, or if it's only going to be other weapons. I could see either being true here. But with it seeming to center a bunch of the plot around us being the 127th user, I would assume it's probably going to be just this character the whole time. That would make more sense. Crit dummy, level 3. Gain 30 fixed damage for every 10 critical hit. Stacks up to 100 times and lasts till the end of the battle. That's a pretty good one. Again, relies on critical hits that we don't really have, but it's fine. Even if we only have... Yeah, we have a 10% chance of it happening right now, so... Still 1 in 10, that's not terrible. Considering we attack a lot, it will balance itself out over time. We'll go ahead and go back to Core Plunders in the hopes that we can get some really nice Thunder Cores to make up for the fact that I got rid of one. Potentially. And I am saving my rage for the boss in case people are wondering why I haven't been using that at all. We also, as you can see, don't need it, so it's fine. I feel like the game is mocking me. Oh yeah, right, elites are a thing. I guess I'll Rage Blast this guy first. Yeah, immediate armor break, down to half health. Get pummeled, pummel. There we go. I did lose some health there, which was mostly just me being greedy, but it's fine. I've made worse decisions before. Get perfect dodged. Not bad. Not really what I'm looking for, but it is technically what I'm looking for. Not sure. We'll just grab the whole crit build at this rate. Why not? Let's go ahead and shelve the experience bonus at this point. This way we can get our level 4 for lightning back, and we can still fit the maxed out insectoid core there. So actually this works. I keep thinking I only have 8 slots, but I have... Oh, no. I have 7 slots right now. I keep thinking I have 6. That's where my math's going funny. We have over 1,000 again, so let's go to the shop. Our health is a little bit in shambles, but it's fine. We just have to remember we don't have rebirth this time, so I can't be too reckless or we're gonna throw this run, which would be a shame. Come on. Alright, Legendary Earth again. This is fine. Looks like the exclusive entries are not specific to their element, because that's the same one we saw on a Water Core twice. The heavy attack now dashes forward to attack. But hey, we at least did get a maxed out Earth. And it does give weapon damage, so it is a smooth replacement for our level 3. So there we go with that. We have 2 maxed out Earth cores. I could put in more Earth cores to get more weapon damage, but we also focused on weapon damage a lot in the last run, so it's only fair that we change it up. Not looking great for getting us another big core, which is fine. Oh, you know how I said we didn't have rebirth? Yeah, turns out we do. So that solves our low health problem. Alright, off we go. Time to beat up the laser boss again. We saw your thing already. We're not seeing it again right now. Oh, he's got, like, fire trails on the tentacle slams this time. I don't remember seeing those last time. So I think there are, like, slight variants to the bosses. I need to remember that I only have 2 dashes. Ow. Case in point. Walking right into all of those things. Get perfect parried, you fool. Oh. Apparently, even with time stopped, you do still take damage if you're standing in something. I was wondering about that, which is why I just kind of let that happen. Whoop. I'm botching now. I'm botching. He's throwing. Let me just stop standing in bad for a second here. Got him. Okay, almost through that one. That could have been really awkward. Oh, hooray, more legendary Earth. Though actually, this one. Light attack, the final strike triggers 6 additional fist wind attacks. Each attack deals 800% weapon damage. It's a shame that the bonuses on it are kind of meh. Though the other one's not much better. Insect drill core log. The hive's gene forge requires human embryos. The sandworm queen's maw devours 30 newborns daily. We found Fat Tabby's wedding ring in its slime. Yikes. A lot of bad things happening in this world, huh? A lot of bad things. Sure, Rage Gauntlets. Legendary attack speed, sure. Now off to the third area, so we actually get to see the volcano. Ooh, nice. Slide down the bones there. Let me see why my bot's being stupid, though. It should be triggering a time-based message for y'all about the game. But, should be the right amount. This 3,600 seconds should be correct. Yeah. It should be triggering every hour. Why is it not going off? Something update and break my timers. It's gonna be the first time. It's fine. I'll just do it manually for now. This way I can also verify the bot's working. Yeah, the bot's working. It's just being stupid about the timer right now, apparently. Okay, never mind. We'll worry about that later. This is when it just pops up, like, seconds after I prompted it. Wow, that enemy was shooting from far away. Also, their health has gotten a lot higher. Like, there's some real wacky numbers happening here. Seeing, like, 40,000s and things like that, just on regular enemies. Wow, trash core. Sadness. Still don't need fortune plunder. Really just don't need money. Like, I feel like you have to actively not be taking battle result increases at all for you to need those fortune plunder spots. or you're going for some ridiculous spending, like multiple thousands of gold being spent. If you can't tell what's happening, by the way, don't worry, I'm not entirely sure either. I'm just hitting buttons and hoping for the best. Just when it really gets heavy like that. Let's go ahead and take that crit rate because we do have things that work crit. Be disappointed by our core results again. And off we go. We'll keep getting core plunders in the hopes of making all of our cores maxed here at this rate. Because we're once again in that position of we have lots of max health, but we can't keep it full, so there's no point in further increasing our max health, particularly. Aside from making sure we have more fixed damage from the boost we have. Which isn't really the build we're going for here, so I see no reason to worry about doing specifically that. Just keep hitting my heavy attack on cooldown and just keep punching. Eventually everything will be off the screen. There we go. More attack speed, yes please. Continue wishing for better cores. But at the rate we're picking cores up, we should be able to do something with these, hopefully. And we do have a shop right when we hit 1,000 gold again. It's all working out perfectly. I'm gonna try to keep it to just Earth and Thunder in the hopes that that encourages it, like I'm hoping it will, but we'll see. That at least did stay a Thunder, but I'm gonna have to mix Earth and Thunder here and hope for the best. Stayed Thunder, and it's not bad. Thunderbolt and Thunder Orb damage and a decent amount of max HP, but I'm gonna have to pull one of my other cores off. Or I pull two of them off and guarantee the Thunder. And then just pivot into more Earth for a moment. That is an option. Thing is, all these are pretty good. Like, this is probably the weakest one of the set we have, as well as this one. Like, this one's not that great either, but the heavy attack cooldown reduction is why I'm keeping that. Let's do some science. Ooh, crit hit have a 60% chance to additionally trigger Thunderbolt and Thunder Flare effects once each. The results on this aren't great. The 10% heavy attack cooldown reduction is good, but we lost a lot in the exchange there. Ugh. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Oh, that's just the only one he has left. Okay. I should have bought all of the tier 1s he had. Oh well. Ooh, collecting gold coins also restores rage equal to 100% amount of gold. Ooh, this is also a fun sounding one though. For every 30 cumulative crit hit, there's a 20% chance the character enters Rampage state, granting critical damage plus 100%, attack speed plus 10%, and movement speed plus 20% for 9 seconds. So if you're just like spamming away with critical hits, you just occasionally just go wild. But we're taking the Fury Lance because that's way better. We can actually grab both. You know, we'll just grab both. Why not? I do have room to put in 2 Earth and then have level 4 Earth Affinity, which gives me that shield back over and over again. ahead and put that one on. But what do I take off for the... I guess it would be this one, because we did replace the cooldown reduction. And then I can put the other legendary tier Earth thing on. Yeah, I think till we max out on legendary lightning, this might be the play. Just flip to this instead of the thunder affinity. 4 pieces is only a 30% chance to double the thunder orb damage. It doesn't do too much without it going up to 6 pieces, I don't think. So I think the 50% chance for shield is probably going to be better for us. And let's just demolish this elite. Oh, there they are. I thought the glowing blob guy was the elite for a second. I'm like, that's what they said? Really? Okay, the purple orbs flying out forward, I'm assuming are those fists of wind that we were seeing the message about. And let me tell you, this is working. This is working. Crit Cannon level 3. Fortune Pig 1. Battle results, each point in this stat also adds 5 fixed damage. Ooh. Yeah. We now have 1,821 fixed damage. Is of our 180 battle results among all the other things we have. Yeah. And hey, let's just get 45 more battle results, which pushed us over 2,000 fixed damage. Hooray! This may or may not be slightly breakable. You know, just maybe a little bit. We've already refilled our rage entirely, I might add. Having just used it on that elite, we're already back at full. More thunder cores. I should probably be grabbing those higher tier cores, even though they're the wrong elements, just to be able to reach maxed cores more often, but then I won't be getting the right elements, most likely. Assuming my logic's even true, which it may not be. It may just be conveniently working out every time. Which may sound absurd, but is not impossible to be true. But obviously, if I have nothing that's either of my elements, I should take the highest tier core that's there. Another 10 fixed damage for me. Attack speed. We are just a nightmare made flesh. Ooh, another memory chip. Volcano Diner menu. Today's special, moss-cooked lava worm stew with radiation bread. The chef drew a crying face on the board. Sorry, the meat got overcooked again today. Sad. I appreciate the addition to the sad face, though. Really makes it hit home that everyone is unhappy that the meat's overcooked. Alright, enough out of you. Okay, apparently enough out of me. I should have hit him with a proper rage move, I guess. I just assumed he was gonna die there, and then that didn't work out. Level 3 electric core. We can upgrade our rage dagger, so sure. That's a lot of extra damage. But both of my electric cores are currently maxed out, so let's not swap that. See if we get a shop soon. Bingo. Right before the boss. Perfect. I should have taken the healing area. I want to note that. I absolutely should have taken the healing area. But shopping. Have you considered shopping? I want to see more of the big time core effects. Da-da-da. That's really good for experience bonus. And 75 fixed damage isn't bad. It'll leave Thunder Orbs leave lightning strikes on disappearance now, which is good too. The flash pointer. What did this one do again? Oh yeah, that's the Super Thunderbolt. Actually, I think we do replace that at this point. Because the Earth ones we have are all pretty good. So, aside from the weapon damage, this one's technically our weakest. Do I keep the Earth shields? And I guess it's not really a debate to worry about because we don't have another electric core. I would have to take this Earth core off and hope that it becomes an electric core. Which I may as well try. See what maxed out core this turns into. It did become an electric one. So I guess it's meant to be. Extra weapon damage, extra pierce damage, heavy attack cooldown reduction, thunderbolt damage, and it's another one relating to Thunder Orbs. Every 3 Thunder Orb triggered, unleash a thunderstorm that we saw before. Nice. So doesn't that mean I have 2 of those? No, I don't have... We saw one, but we didn't have one. Right. Okay, so we're back to potentially doubled Thunder Orb damage, but we don't have the shield anymore, which might be bad. We can get even more Fortune Pig or more Sturdy Glove. Fortune Pig it is. Actually, we can buy both. We can buy them all. Just give me everything. It's not like my money's gonna help me in the grave anyway. 3,296 fixed damage now. Alright. We're very power loaded, but not defensive at all. And it's a big fire lizard. We're probably gonna lose this fight if I were to hazard a guess. Hey there, Nixie, how's it going? Oh, that's fire tornadoes. Yikes. Oh, okay, you've got a roll move too. Watch out for that. Still got 8 health bars left. Sounds good. Hope work goes well for you. Appreciate you popping in. It's always good to see you. I had to use that to bail out of that situation because I realized I was standing in bad at a really inopportune point. Woo. Got him. Whew, that was almost bad. He only hit me once. If he had hit me twice, it would have been over. I've broadcast. Humans, your cycles are merely our cultivation periods. The 127th sowing is about to begin. This time, we want flame-breathing offspring. Ah. That's certainly something. There's our 5th soul brand. Lava worm breeding log. Tank 17 record. Fed adapter blood today. Ug's flame range increased by 30%, but they started humming lullabies. Ah. And we'll upgrade our crit ring. But it doesn't matter because that's the end of this run. As we get on our hover bike. That has wings. Okay, that's pretty cool. I would like a bike like... Oh, that's the end of the demo too. Perfect, actually. Congratulations on completing the demo. You can continue playing to unlock additional content. More exciting features will be revealed in the full version. Click the button below to add to your wishlist. Thank you for your support. We had already prompted the bot about that a moment ago, but right before we switch off, I will go ahead and prompt the bot again. And for all y'all's convenience. This was a good time, though. I enjoyed this. Let's at least have a look at what this flamethrower here looks like. Can I use it in here? I can. Oh, it actually turns you into a ranged character straight up. Neat. That's actually gonna change the way you play this quite a bit. Okay, okay. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. When it said flamethrower, I was expecting, like, close-in bursts of flame, like half the range of this. Oh, and it did give us some more options in here. We have Piggy Bank, which gives us starting money and chance of gaining extra health when picking up life capsules. Not bad, not bad. There's our other max core slot, but that's not going to matter. So I assume you have to clear more difficulties to gain access to the other openings for the core slots then, since there's 2 left. But once again, that was Starfire Endless Cycle, so if you're at all interested in giving the demo a shot yourself, there's the link there. That'll take you to the store page. And you could also wishlist the game if you are so inclined. I'm gonna go ahead and let the music play for a little bit here while I get everything switched over for the next game. I will say, if it hadn't stopped me at that difficulty, I probably would have kept going, actually, because I was very much enjoying that. But we have another game to get to, so let's get to that. This one switched over first. Otherwise, it's going to prompt incorrectly. And this is when my timer is still just broken. I'm kind of convinced that it is, in fact, just a broken timer for some reason. It should have been set exactly to an hour, and an hour has passed and nothing happened. I would verify that with my other timer, but I actually have the other timer off right now. The only timer on is the Lurkit one and the link tree. Okay, so that's all of that swapped over. Let me just go ahead and get the category and the title fixed. At first, so I can see the spelling completely, so I can fix it for the title. As I promptly type it wrong anyway. Way to go, my hands. Labyrinth is a word that always messes with me as far as how it's spelled. Wrong button.